Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Ever wondered how data, really moves efficiently through those complex enterprise systems?
Mhm.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into Workday Pro Integrations. Our mission is basically to extract the most important insights from a set of pretty fascinating practice questions and their explanations.
Yeah, they're quite revealing.
Exactly, giving you a real shortcut to understanding these critical components.
Yeah.
Everything from, say, optimizing performance right through to securing sensitive information.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is how these questions, they don't just test rote knowledge, they actually reveal the core principles of building robust, high-performing Workday integrations.
Right.
We'll explore everything from, ensuring data accuracy, optimizing performance, securing that sensitive info, all designed to help you not just know the answers, but really think like an integration pro.
Okay, so to begin our deep dive, let's maybe lay out the foundational concepts, the essential tools we'll be navigating.
Good idea.
When you think about Workday Pro integrations, you're really looking at key areas like reporting and calculated fields, the Enterprise Interface Builder, EIB, most people call it,
Yep, the EIB.
very common for efficient data movement. Then there's XSLT transformations for shaping data, Workday Cloud Connect, the critical aspects of integration security, how to handle change detection, and of course, robust error handling.
Hmm.
These are really the building blocks, wouldn't you say?
Right.
They empower effective data exchange.
Absolutely. For anyone working with data movement in, an enterprise environment, understanding these areas isn't just theory. It's about mastering the practical tools, the methodologies that ensure data flows accurately, securely, and importantly, efficiently throughout an organization's systems.
Right.
They really do collectively form the bedrock for, well, effective digital operations today.
Okay, we've sort of outlined the terrain. Now let's zoom in on a really powerful tool for transformation, XSLT.
XSLT.
Yes. For those maybe less familiar, XSLT is essentially a language that, well, it tells Workday how to restructure or reformat your XML data, making it adaptable for various downstream systems. So when you're crafting an XSLT style sheet, what's the core purpose of a namespace?
Okay, good question. A namespace in XSLT declares a specific scope for element and attribute names. This is really crucial because it helps the processor distinguish between, say, the XSLT elements themselves, the instructions for transformation, and the elements coming from your actual source XML data.
Okay. So it tells them apart.
Exactly. The key takeaway here is that namespaces are absolutely foundational. I mean, without them, your XSLT might not even see the data you're trying to transform.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which can lead to some frustrating silent failures.
I can imagine that distinction is so important then. Knowing what belongs where can probably prevent a lot of headaches.
Definitely.
So building on that, how about the very heart of an XSLT transformation? What's the purpose of the XSL.template element?
Right, the XSL.template. Well, this element defines a specific transformation rule. It applies when the processor finds a matching node in your source XML. Think of it like a blueprint for how to handle a particular piece of data.
Okay, a blueprint. I like that.
Yeah, this element holds the instructions for how to output or maybe process that node. It essentially forms the core logic of any XSLT transformation. It's really where you dictate the precise actions taken on your data.
We've explored the power of XSLT for that kind of granular data transformation. But, sometimes you don't need that level of complexity, right?
True.
And Workday has some incredibly efficient built-in tools for more common integration needs. Let's explore those.
Yeah, the simpler stuff often has a simpler solution built in.
Exactly. So imagine you need to translate a Workday marital status value, like married,
Mm.
okay, to a vendor-specific code, maybe just M.
Common scenario.
What would be the most efficient configuration to achieve this within Workday? Not necessarily the most complex, but most efficient.
Right. Well, the most efficient approach here is definitely to configure an integration map. Workday actually designed integration maps specifically for this purpose, translating Workday data values to external system values.
I love.
They are incredibly efficient, they're reusable, and they're directly tied to the integration. That makes them the preferred method for simple value translation, without needing to write custom logic in, say, calculated fields or messing with XSLT.
So it avoids the coding part for simple lookups.
Precisely. The real insight, I think, is that Workday wants you to use its built-in optimized tools like integration maps whenever you can. They just offer better performance and maintainability than custom code for these common translation needs.
So it's basically Workday's elegant lookup table for these translations built right into the integration itself.
That's a great way to put it, yes.
That built-in efficiency is really powerful. But what if you have unmapped items? Say you need to output something like other if a Workday value doesn't quite align with the vendor's provided list. How do integration maps handle that kind of scenario?
Yeah, that happens. Integration maps can actually be configured with default values specifically for unmapped items.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if a Workday value doesn't match any of the vendor's codes in your map, it will automatically output a specified default value, like your example other, without requiring any extra calculated fields or, again, custom XSLT logic.
Okay.
It avoids having to write, complex if-then logic in XSLT just for simple mapping. It's built-in flexibility that truly streamlines things.
That's a great demonstration of their flexibility, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's consider another scenario, maybe for precise data inclusion.
Okay.
How would you configure, say, a core connector, worker template?
Mm-hmm.
But just to clarify for our listeners, core connectors are Workday's pre-built sort of robust integration templates for common HR scenarios like this.
Right. Standardized outputs.
Yeah, offering a standard way to extract specific worker data. So how would you configure one to include only home phone numbers for employees, just the home ones?
Ah, okay. For that, you would use integration field attributes.
Field attributes, okay.
Yeah. These allow you to specify certain data subtypes, like, in this case, a particular phone number type, directly within that connector template.
Right in the template itself.
Right in the template. By setting this attribute to home, you ensure that only home phone numbers are included in the output. It completely avoids the need for extra processing or filtering later on.
Ah.
It's all about being precise right at the point of extraction.
We've covered how to make our data precise, easily translatable. Now let's turn to, well, a big question. Performance.
Always important.
What does this all mean for performance, especially thinking about outbound EIBs, processing maybe large data sets? What's the most effective way to improve performance by making sure only necessary data is retrieved in the first place?
Okay, yeah. Performance with EIBs is key. The single best performance optimization, hands down, is to filter data at the source.
Okay.
At the source. This means building a highly specific custom report, one with only the necessary fields and really tight filters. By doing this, you minimize the processing time dramatically and avoid pulling unnecessary records into the EIB.
Which would just bog it down.
Exactly, which would otherwise significantly slow down your integration. Less data processed from the very beginning equals a faster integration. Simple as that, really.
That's a powerful principle, isn't it?
Yeah.
It often gets overlooked. It's tempting sometimes to just pull everything and then filter later.
It is tempting, yeah.
But you're saying that's like trying to drink from a fire hose when you just need a sip of water?
That's a perfect analogy, yes.
Speaking of output, what's the purpose of the alternate output format option in an outbound EIB integration?
Ah, the alternate output format. Well, that option allows you to select a predefined output format, something like CSV or TXT, instead of the default Workday XML.
Okay, so not XML.
Right. This is incredibly useful when a downstream system specifically requires a non-XML file type, like maybe a legacy system or a specific vendor feed. And it conveniently avoids the need for additional transformation steps after the EIB runs.
Got it.
It's about delivering data in the exact format the recipient needs, without adding extra effort or another step in the process.
We've just unpacked how to make integrations run faster, deliver the right format. But of course, efficiency can never compromise security.
Absolutely not. Critical point.
Let's pivot now to the absolutely critical layer of protecting our data as it moves through these systems. When you're configuring security for, say, a core connector, you need to grant an integration system user an ISU access to the correct web service operations. Where would you actually find the specific web service operation used by that connector template? It's not always obvious.
That's true. It's not always obvious on the surface. The authoritative source for that information is the integration template catalog report within Workday itself.
Ah, the catalog report. Okay.
Yeah, this report provides detailed metadata about all the connector templates, and crucially, it tells you exactly which web service operations they use. Knowing this is essential for setting up the correct security permissions for your ISU.
Because otherwise.
Because insufficient permissions will simply stop your integration cold. It just won't run.
Right, dead in the water. Okay, that's a clear roadmap for security then. And let's clarify the relationship between an integration system user, the ISU, and an integration system security group, the ISSG. What's their correct relationship, and why does it matter so much?
Good one to clarify. An integration system user, or ISU, is basically a dedicated user account designed specifically for running integrations, not for a person to log in.
Okay, like a service account.
Exactly, like a service account. The correct relationship is that the ISU is assigned as a member of an integration system security group, the ISSG.
Okay, the ISU is a member of the ISSG.
Correct. The ISSG, in turn, is where the security policies are actually defined, the policies that grant the necessary permissions for the ISU to run integrations and access the required data domains. So, think of the ISSG as maybe the key holder,
Right.
and the ISU is given access to those keys by being part of the right group.
That distinction really highlights the role-based nature of Workday security, doesn't it? Assigning permissions to the role or group, not the individual user.
Precisely. It's fundamental to how Workday manages security.
Okay, finally, let's explore maybe more complex integration scenarios, specifically involving Workday Studio.
Ah, Studio, the heavy lifter.
Yeah. When you're building a Workday Studio integration, just to differentiate, Studio is Workday's sort of advanced code-centric development environment. It's distinct from the in-system EIBs.
Right, for the really complex stuff.
Exactly, for building highly complex, maybe multi-step integrations with branching logic, custom processing, all that. Which tool within Workday Studio is typically used to create the graphical flow, the visual map of a complex integration process?
Right. So when you're working inside Workday Studio, the tool you'll primarily use for that visual layout is the assembly editor.
Assembly editor, okay.
Yeah. The assembly editor provides a drag and drop graphical environment specifically for building these integration workflows. This is where developers arrange all the different components, they define the data flows between them, and basically orchestrate all the various steps within a complex integration process. It's really the visual blueprint of your sophisticated integration. If we kind of connect this to the bigger picture, it's clear that mastering these integration tools isn't just about understanding individual components or, say, passing an exam. It's really about building scalable, secure, and performant data exchange systems that truly meet business needs in the real world.
Yeah.
And while it raises an important question for you, the listener, how might understanding these specific optimization techniques, these configuration methods we discussed, how might that change the way you approach data challenges in your own projects, whether that's in Workday or maybe even beyond?